We are back here with another midday video for you guys. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. Hopefully you guys are having a fairly decent start. Yeah, it is actually it's snowing like crazy here in Canada. So we've got a little bit of a snowstorm right now. So hopefully you guys have some sunshine and better days ahead than we do, because yeah, it's a big snowstorm right now. Anyways, so I thought today we would talk about Maestro again and his kit, and just kind of recap and take a look at his kit again today, and also see what could potentially be his teammates and characters that are going to form some early synergy with him. We haven't really seen anything yet from Scopely if they will be revamping any of the Gamma team members, but yeah, he does have that Gamma tag, so of course we can expect some synergy as well with that. And yeah, we'll just kind of we'll kind of dive right into it in case you guys might have missed it from earlier on in the week. He is basically going to be a plug and play character, and it doesn't look like he's going to have any type of restriction on the game mode. Looks like he may be an all-rounder. Much like the way Null was. He's going to be a villain. He's global. And again, he's got that Gamma tag, which is going to be nice because it forms synergy with some of his other Gamma members. Keep in mind, his speed 126 is actually fairly, actually pretty decent as well. So for I think with how the newer characters have been, they have been kind of slower-ish, and 126 is actually fairly decent on the scale of things. We'll take a look here at his stats, and you guys can kind of see Maestro's kit here. And they haven't really updated the power yet, but yeah, like I said, his speed's 126, and when we click on this damage chart, he is ranked number 2 in terms of damage stats. It looks like Daredevil is the king right now, and if you guys have played the Daring Warriors showcase, you'll know you'll know exactly how hard Daredevil can hit. But yeah, it looks like he is only second to Daredevil, but the difference between him and Daredevil is the fact that he's faster than Daredevil, and he also has a lot of crazy negatives that he applies to the team as well here. As you guys can kind of see, he has quite a bit more armor than Daredevil, and his health is also one of the highest as well. As you can see here, 27 million, quite high. Also on this top 10 here, you can kind of see everyone's speed, and again, like Magneto's kind of on a class of his own, but other than Magneto, Eclipse is faster, and Professor Xavier, so about the same speed as almost like Xavier. But then yeah, you can kind of see here most of these guys are 119, 120. Blue Marvel's 132, which is quite fast, but he's kind of on a class of his own as well. And then you can kind of see here, like all these other top attackers are a bit slower, on the slower side of things. So he's not exactly he's not slow and he's not fast. I would say he's kind of in the middle of the pack, but he's definitely on the above average side of things. So that's a stats table there in case you guys haven't had a look at it. But anyways, so without further ado, let's take a look at his abilities again and just kind of recap it. So his basic, again, he can hit the primary and apply bleeds, and if they have the Wrath, he's gonna basically hit everybody and reduce safeguard, clearing positives. I don't know why it doesn't do more than 2 positives. Maybe they'll change that, but yeah, apply 2 bleeds, gain speed up. So again, his speed is already 126, so when he gets that speed up as well, he is going to move 50% faster, right? So he's going to add another little jump into his step, right? And then when he does his ISO attack, he's going to apply more bleeds, clear more positives. Yeah, so his special is probably going to be what people open with, because this is going to be his basically his turn 1 move. He's going to attack primary and flip positives. So again, there's no limitation here. It could be any number of positive effects. Barrier for 30% of this character's health, so that's pretty cool. And again, he's already pretty beefy as it is, but he's gonna get 30% more of his health. And then yeah, they have Wrath, then they get more crap on them, like trauma, defense down. Yeah, deal 10% of this character's max health as damage, so that's pretty big. Broken Storm, so this is gonna probably be his maybe his second or third ability, because it starts out as a 4/6. It means he needs at least 2 turns to kind of get going here. So I don't know if we'll ever. Yeah, we'll have to see how we'll have to see if he has any other synergy with other teams to kind of give him that extra little boost. But yeah, he hits the enemies, prolonging all the negatives, and then yeah, if they have Wrath, they get more stuff, and yeah, so very very strong. And then yeah, they can't be revived, and it ignores defense up as well, which is actually pretty crazy. Wow. So this is going to be like similar to Red Hulk's ult, where it just hits everybody so hard. And then again, his passive is kind of what makes him so unique, just like all the other Battle World characters, right? So he gets Safeguard on spawn, and when he has 2 or more enemies, he gets 30% drain, up to 90%. So, wow. I just feel like that's kind of crazy, because that basically means he's going to be hitting and getting himself back to 100% here. If he's got 90% drain, that's insane. That's crazy. And of course, it's on turn, right? So he doesn't get it right away, but he's gonna have 30%, and then he's probably gonna get 60, and then I guess yeah, when he maxes out does he gain 30% drain on turn? Yeah. So he'll get 60 on the second turn, and then on his third turn he'll get the 90%, and he's gonna get a 30% speed. So if he has this speed plus his speed up, wow, he can be. So I guess I can kind of see why maybe that's why they didn't want to start him with his ult, because yeah, you can kind of see right here, this is gonna be crazy. So yeah, his kit overall, like I said, I think if you guys have seen some of my other footage, I was not really like I wasn't sure about him until I saw his kit, but yeah, for sure he's kind of won me over here with his kit, because it's very intriguing. I'm also I'm a little bit biased as well, because I am a Maestro fan, and yeah, and I just love his overall story and everything. So yeah, so that probably doesn't help the case here. But anyways, so if the enemy has Wrath, they apply the Wrath, and then again, when they don't have Wrath, they basically apply it to a new person. So that means someone's gonna basically get stacked on Wrath pretty much up until the point they die, and then it just goes on to another person. So from a PvE perspective, if they have, Danger Room, if they have some other crazy game modes they come out with, and this character is going to be playable on those, it's going to be very, very beneficial to have this character on your team, because he's gonna be fast, he's gonna have sustain. I'm just thinking right now, even from like a Dark Dimension standpoint, like holy crap, this is a character that I would not want to be playing against. Right? Yeah, because wow, it's gonna be and he can't be stunned either, right? So I think or can he? Yeah, he's immune to negative effects. Oh no, he can't be stunned. Sorry, I lied. He's immune to negative effects except for the stun. Sorry. For some reason I thought it was trauma instead of the stun, but I guess not. And then yeah, he's immune to darkness. And then when he's 50% damage, or sorry, I think this only applies if he's above 50% health. But again, if he has that 90% drain, and he has over 50% health, yeah, it's gonna be bonkers. It's gonna be bonkers, right? So let's take a look in game here at characters that we may potentially think that are gonna be useful with them, and whether that's from a game mode perspective, or maybe from maybe people are theory crafting, or maybe you're using him in war or something like that. But yeah, I kind of tag everything under my VS favorites, because yeah, we're not really able to farm character nodes anymore, so I kind of revamped it a little bit, but. Anyways, let's take a look here quickly, and actually shout out to my boy Paul here. He actually, thanks Paul, you're the man, brother. He actually brought some of these characters to my attention as well here, and then I had to kind of do some digging around and see what other characters might actually have some pretty good synergy. And again, I don't know if these are the only characters. This is kind of just something I whipped up in about 20-30 minutes, and yeah, there's probably more if I go to every character kit and see if there's actually some benefits out of it. But obviously, if we're thinking about an arena standpoint, and we got Franklin here, he's gonna have the two-piece. He's gonna have the two-piece with his allies, and that's gonna cancel out speed stat, right? That's gonna make it so that where is that? I should look to the right point when I'm talking about it. If he has 2 or more fantastic allies, enemies cannot have their speed increased except for positive effects. So again, in arena where we want to be faster than the other guys, having Maestro in there may be potentially good as well, especially for all those Dormammu variations of Fantastic Four, right? Where they have the revive, and of course, if he prevents the revive with his ult, then it's a potential option as well here. And of course, Franklin's going to make sure that he's going to make sure that Maestro can have his speed maximized, because he can negate the other team's speed, right? So yeah, so that's very interesting here. Emma Frost is another good one, I think, for obvious reasons. She gives the she gives the -10 speed to all enemies. Anytime we have Maestro moving faster than the other guys, that means he gets to be more efficient, right? He gets to be more effective in what he does, right? So of course it only makes sense to have Emma in there as well. Apocalypse is a big one here because of the fact that he can also help Maestro out because he ensures that he won't get slow, right? I think he's already immune to slow, but it just helps out because this prevents like Emma Frost, her passive, right? The minus 10% slow. And because he already blocks out the slow from the negative sides and he blocks out the speed negative from Emma Frost, then of course it only makes sense to have Apocalypse in there as well. This isn't just for Arena. This would be a good for in War, possibly Cosmic Crucible, right? Again, this is another nice point here where he also gives additional benefits, right? He gives accuracy. All allies gain 20% damage. Hello. Yeah, he's giving more health and more damage. Remember we were just talking about Maestro's damage and his health with the stats table? So that means he gets even more of that. So why the heck would you not increase his health, right? So again, it isn't just the speed, it's also the health, it's the damage. Yeah, it's another key component. This guy is interesting because he's also Gamma, so of course there's some synergy there, but I thought it was interesting because he applies the defense up to villains and himself, but of course as well, Maestro doesn't really get the defense up, right? Because he can't get it, right? And that's because if he did, I think he would just be super overpowered, especially already with all his buffs. But what's interesting here is the fact that he gets 50% health, and this from a Crucible standpoint, he would be able to give his villain allies more health and armor. And of course, as well, we already know if you have more health and more armor on Maestro's kit, yeah, 50% is pretty big. So I don't know if we can argue about that, but yeah, so this would only be, like I said, applicable with Crucible, but it would be interesting to slot him in with Cabal, because Cabal is kind of sort of on their way out, and what people have done creatively is they've tried ways to kind of incorporate them into other teams that still make use out of it. But yeah, of course, he is a Gamma ally as well, so of course I had to mention that. I just thought it was interesting. She-Hulk, actually, I don't know if she does anything relatively good. I think I just had her on here because she was a Gamma member, but I think what she does is she actually gives the taunt. So I mean, this would help out, I guess. Let's see if a Gamma ally attacks, then I guess, yeah, they would get charged. So I guess it helps with that respect. But yeah, kind of maybe from a more of a War perspective, if you have the Gamma team built up with War. Mine isn't like crazy, but yeah, of course, now that she's on Retcon, I don't see any reason why you would break up the Retcon team for her. But I had her in here, like I said, because she was a Gamma member. Guardian, I think people already know he spawns a barrier, so he would give his allies more health and whatever, and then he gets offense up to his allies. So whether this is Crucible, whether this is War, I feel like this would be probably pretty beneficial, especially because like I already said, Maestro's attack power is second to only to Daredevil. So just imagine him getting that little 50% boost, and then he lands that massive ult while he's got the offense up, or maybe even his turn one special, right, where it's just gonna clobber. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this would be beneficial regardless. Crucible, he's always been good as a plug and play with Dame on as well, so of course no surprise here. He would be a good slot in. Red Hulk, so I feel like this guy deserves a bit more love, and I do feel like maybe they should rework him a bit. But yeah, so of course, I mean, we already know about his massive ult, but what's interesting here as well, here, if you guys look, I mean, if this character has 3 or more Gamma allies, so again, it makes sense to have, if She-Hulk is out for Retcon, it would make sense to have another member to kind of slot in with Red Hulk, and of course, when an enemy attacks Gamma ally, get charged, and then yeah, he gets defense up and minor up, cannot be applied to self or Gamma allies. So again, this is funny because this is also a similar thing to what Maestro's kit has, right? He can't really get the defense up, so this is a kind of weird that they did that, but either way, they get 50% resistance, and I mean, this is important because let's say, for example, someone does try to stun Maestro, and then he gets that extra 50% the resistance, right? He also gets that additional 50% reduction. Gamma allies get it as well. And again, like I said, we already have that 50% from his own kit. Actually, let's bring that back up here. He already gets 50%, I think, from his passive. So he gets another 50 on top of that. Like, that's how I'm understanding it. So I think with how these damage applications go, it would be 50% of whatever the 50% is. So it wouldn't be like a 50% times 50%. It would be like a 50% of, well, I guess, okay, let's put it in a numbers term here. Let's say someone's doing 100 damage, and with Maestro's passive, it takes about 50% of that. So now it's 50, right? Now it's 50 instead of 100. And then this 50% that he has on top of that would take basically the 50 damage that he already was going to get inputted down to 25 now. So it's almost like cutting it in half. But I think that's how I'm interpreting it. I could be wrong here. But anyways, yeah. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is if you have a Red Hulk and he's pretty built up, shoot, I think no matter what game mode you're looking at, like, he's going to have to be a slot in, because that 50% reduction armor is insane. Let's say, for example, he's up against Mephisto, and Mephisto takes half his health with the basic. Well, the 50% reduction would only make it a quarter, right? Because he would take 50% of that, that 50%, right? And then if he does his 50% on top of that, that means that one quarter now becomes like 12.5% instead of 50%. So yeah, Eddie, I don't know if I just confused you guys more, but I think the message I'll leave here is Red Hulk is, if he gets a rework, I think for sure he's going to be a slot in. I have a lot of Dark promo credits, so now I may actually bring him up now because of that fact, because I want synergy with Maestro. Again, we have Braun. Braun is, I'm still kind of debating or not how much I want to push these guys for the Eclipse event, and of course that leads into Maestro's event, shards, whatever. But again, if you look here, he's going to get 30% drained, but his allies... sorry, not his allies. Oh, this is just for champions. I thought this was for Gamma. Oh, okay. I guess I lied here. Okay, whatever. Okay. So, either way, at the end of any turn, he can clear the heal block on Gamma allies, and I guess it really doesn't apply to him because he's negating the negative effects. But either way. So when any character, champion, or Gamma drops below 50%, fill that character's speed bar by 15%. So either someone's targeting Braun or somebody's targeting Maestro, he's going to get that fill on the speed bar, if assuming nothing is canceling the speed bar fill, right? This would be, again, another reason why we would have this team with, in more, let's say, it would be some sort of a slot in with the old Gamma team, right? And now instead of we having She-Hulk, and Champions isn't really like a war team, right? But now we have Braun slotting in with Red Hulk, with Maestro, and yeah, it would form a synergy, right? Because he would get more speed bar. So anyways, yeah, I thought it was an interesting find here. I for some reason I thought this strain also applied for the whole team. Or does it? Champion allies gain 30% drain. Yeah, see, I misread this. I thought for some reason I thought it was champions and Gamma. So that is my bad. I thought we could push this 90% drain even further. I guess that's my bad on my fault here. But let's look at Abomination here. Abomination is another one because he gets the drain as well. So he does what Braun doesn't do, I guess. Maybe that's where I got mixed up. So anyways, so he gets 30% health and he gets drain, and then of course his allies get 30% health and drain. So more health, more drain. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be crazy to see this Gamma team. This Gamma team is going to be looked at for sure. I mean, I have most of these guys at 95 or 100, and I'm going to have to maybe bump some of these guys up here. And of course, the last one I want to talk about is Hulk. Of course, anytime we talk about Maestro and Red Hulk, we got to include the original Hulk in here because, come on, guys, he's the OG one, and I would love for him to get a rework because I like you guys already know, I'm a Maestro fan, and of course, it stems from the fact that I'm also a Hulk fan, right? And of course, again, we know his abilities. He's gonna get that. He drops the 50%. He gets a speed bar, clear stun, yada yada yada. And I mean, how many times has Hulk been reworked? So maybe he just needs one more. Gamma allies get 30% armor, so this is gonna be good for his health. And now, if when his allies get more armor, again, we already looked at the stats. His armor was already pretty insane. So yeah, this definitely helps out. And I think you can tell too when he gets that armor from his, from his passive, when he gets charged, it's crazy, right? He is very, very strong. When an enemy attacks a Gamma or Wave 1, he also spills his speed bar. So of course it helps to have him on here. And yeah, like I said, the synergy part is good for this Gamma team, right? That's why I had to include all these pieces here, right? We have Hulk, we have A-Bomb, we have Brawn, and I don't know if She-Hulk's going to stick around too much longer, but of course this 4-piece right here is going to be forming a nice synergy, probably in War. And then if we're looking at arena sense, we may be looking at a different arena meta sooner than later here, depending on what Scopely announces soon. But we'll see what happens with Annihilus. But yeah, as of now, depending on when Maestro gets released, we can expect him to have synergy as well with Fantastic Four. Emma Frost and APOC will also be there as well to kind of help ring out the the other stuff with in terms of the speed bar negating or the speed bar advantage or manipulation, right? So really, I feel like this is kind of some of the key characters now that will be important for Maestro. And again, if you guys don't care about Maestro and you don't care about these characters, that's fine. I mean, it is all right now speculation at this point, and I'm pretty excited for his unlock, and I'm pretty stoked about it. Yeah, I am very impressed though, like with A-Bomb. He's going to get 30% drain. So that means right off the bat here, even at turn 1, Maestro, he's going to get 60% drain. Just from a PvE standpoint, I can just see a lot of sustain, right? Especially if you bring these guys up on, like for Dark Dimension, or some other game mode where it requires villains or something like that, right? Where maybe it's a new Scourge. I don't know. It's kind of fun at this point for me just to kind of speculate. But yeah, what do you guys think? Did I miss anything? What about you guys? Do you guys have any characters you think that may be a good addition with Maestro? Again, we don't know when he's coming. We don't know when his actual release date is, but of course you can start earning the shards in game for him, and of course as well, yeah, it'll be interesting to see here when he does get released. Like I said, I think it's the last day for the Night Thrasher Surge. So if you want to blow some energy and get some extra shards for him, again, this recon thing is on, so you can get the shards for him, right? Unfortunately, I don't have any shards on him, but that's okay. I'll take my time with it. I'm excited for the character. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to race for it and I'm going to be the first one to get him. I'm stoked for it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the game's not belly up by the time he is released. But otherwise, guys, I want to appreciate, I want to say thank you, appreciate your time as always for watching, and I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day.